Hello, everybody, and welcome to the debut episode of On Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex.
Hello.
I'm your host, Kyle Hayes.
I'm Alex Crawford.
And, welcome, Alex. And we're going to talk to you today about, some of our favorite films, our mutual love in films. Occasionally, we'll have an episode where Alex features a recipe or gives a restaurant review.
Well, maybe even a little bit of cooking each episode.
Yeah, sure. If we have time, why not?
Well, okay, but yeah.
So, I guess we'll just give a little bit of an intro ourselves. I'm Kyle. Alex and I met, a couple of years ago back in high school.
Yeah, grade 10.
Grade 10, yeah. And it's kind of an awkward story, right?
Yeah.
But basically, there was this girl, Katie. Yeah, remember her?
Yeah, I had her. She was in my science class. She was really fun. We ended up sitting at the same table. Got along really well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There was a time where, I thought she was kind of into me, I think, at that time. And
What made you think that?
I was just sort of this, innate feeling that I had. Like, there was just sort of this connection between us.
You think there was... you felt like something was mutual, or this is... I think it was probably just in your head mostly, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that was true now, but certainly at the time.
What? The mutuality?
Yeah. Grade 10, high school.
Okay.
There was sort of,
Mhm.
yeah.
Maybe.
But you were into her as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the sense that we really had it was a fun table at our science table.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple other people, but it was really she and I that had fun, doing the different science projects and stuff like that. I didn't give myself any kind of ideas.
Yeah. Well, I never really went out with her either. I probably could have, but then.
Well, I did go out with her a couple times.
Oh, you did?
We didn't, just broadcast it.
Right.
But we went to a movie. The first time there was someone else there.
This sounds familiar. I think you've told me this story.
Probably.
I don't remember where I was, but.
And then we went out just one time. Just to a cafe or whatever. I know you didn't necessarily know about those, but
Yeah.
that didn't prevent you from getting jealous.
Yeah. Well, you and I and a few other people in our friends group, we used to go to the movies all the time.
Tuesday nights.
Yeah, Tuesday, the cheap night, the $5 night
Yeah.
at the cinema over there. And I don't know. I think that was the more that I got to spend time around Katie, I think the less I kind of liked her. I didn't feel like she was really all that decent of a person. I felt like she was kind of self-serving. And I think that you kind of fell out of love with her in a similar way.
I guess you could interpret it that way.
Yeah. Well, how would you interpret it?
Well, when I found out that even the slightest possibility of her having a potential relationship with other people, and well, I can't deny it, she left. She wasn't interested anymore at some point, and then I saw that I started talking to you one day in the hall.
Yeah. That's what I really think the issue was with her. She would kind of rope you in. She would sort of feign interest in you, but then she would just dispose you like you're like a used tissue or something. I don't know what she wanted. She didn't seem to want a boyfriend or a relationship or anything. She seemed to just, kind of rotate through guys at our school.
Well, yeah, because then there was that time when you and I were sitting there almost ready to fight about it. I mean, not physically or anything, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you were getting a little heated.
Yeah.
And then we see her down the hall
Yeah.
with some other guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess whatever. She's probably just talking to them. We
Mhm.
might be seeing more into it than there is.
Yeah. I mean, it was high school. It was a different time. We're all so silly and
Yeah.
so stupid then, but
But then, so then you and I were able to laugh about it.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we sort of, formed our resolve over just, kind of making fun of the situation a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Good, we both had our feelings hurt in the same way, and I think that there's something to, there's some friendship to be mined out of that, I suppose.
Well, and it's almost unreal. I mean, it's like getting through it's maybe not to the degree of like a survival situation, but it's a
Mhm.
tense, incredible. I'm not incredible, but trying situation emotionally for young people at that time, and we got through it together on some level. And
Yeah. Yeah.
they say that relationships like that don't last.
No.
Like because that was the same time that we started talking about that the movie Speed.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we both really liked it, but it's true that Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, she says to him at the end of the movie, relationships formed in stress situations or whatever
Yeah.
never last.
Yeah. Oh man, Speed is great. Speed is a great movie. I've actually never seen the sequel though, I don't think.
I don't know that it's worth it.
Yeah. That might have been a direct to video even. I don't remember.
I don't know, but I mean, Keanu Reeves isn't in it.
Yeah,
other
he's
than-
not in it.
But
so-
it's like the same character by
Yeah.
Jason Patrick or whatever.
Yeah. What's the point, really?
No, and it's like on a cruise ship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How fast can a cruise ship go?
Yeah. So that that relationship or whatever you want to call it with Katie, it was nothing too real, but it I had a similar kind of familiar sort of I don't know well, sadness isn't the word for it, but confusion, I suppose, when my ex Roxanne,
Mm.
walked out at me.
Mhm.
She didn't literally walk out on me, but it was a similar kind of odd feeling of being shunted aside.
Yeah, how
for
long
s-
had
for
you guys
seeming
been
no
together?
reason. Like we went out for 6 or 7 months, and I
Mm.
feel like that's not forever, but that is long enough that you should probably be on the same page of where things are headed, right?
Yeah, I mean, a relationship can break up at any time, I guess. I mean, I don't know. To some degree, having been together for X amount of time, the longer the time together, maybe the less likely that it comes apart. But I mean, of course, we know that's not true.
Mhm. It's not always true, but I just don't understand why she wasn't willing to communicate with me her true feelings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what? Did she reveal that she'd been hiding things?
Oh,
Or, I mean, not communicating everything?
absolutely. I mean, I don't think Roxanne's ever going to listen to this, so like she wasn't faithful to me. She wasn't
Mm.
a good partner to me.
And she revealed that.
Yeah.
Or it got revealed.
Yeah. And I don't understand why it was just such an easy thing for her to do. Like I was always good to her,
Mm.
and I never got that in return.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really understand what the problem was, what her problem was with me, why the problems weren't a little more resolvable.
Like, how did it happen, that specific moment? Like, you were was it at home? Were you guys living together? No, not yet.
We weren't living together. We were spending a lot of time together. And, one day, I just kind of confront her, She'd been a little too friendly with some of my friends, and she's like a little too familiar with some guys that I know, and she's like a little too, I don't know, happy to be spending time with people who aren't me. So I was always insecure about that, and I finally just asked her one day, like, where's this going, or what do you see happening between us? And it was clear she just didn't feel the same way. She'd barely given it a second thought.
Where were you guys when you asked her? Like out or?
No, we were at my place. Yeah. And like we'd been going out 6 or 7 months. She didn't even think of us as an exclusive couple.
Oh yeah.
You know. Like it was just such an easy thing for her to say that she's going out with other guys and attracted to other guys, and I don't know, maybe I had tunnel vision, but like I had been so focused on her for the past few months that I didn't even give it a second thought. It was just really kind of disarming to think that you don't really know someone as well as you think.
Especially when you've been like intimate and close with them for that long.
Yeah. It's all confusing. It's all kind of pointless, arguably.
Well, but it shows how important it is to talk about things like that.
Yeah.
Even if it's not easy.
Yeah. That was actually the sort of foundation for this thing that I'm working on.
Yeah.
The script that I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
The working title right now is called Broken Hearts. But it's basically the story of two people falling out of love.
What, like sort of based on what happened with you and Roxanne?
Yeah, loosely based, but I'm going to take elements of that story and incorporate it into this short that I'm writing.
You're not going to like thank her in the credits or anything like that?
Oh, God, no. No, I hope she never sees this thing. I hope I never see her again.
Yeah, that seems slightly reasonable, but like, I don't know, how much have you been working on this?
I mean, the story's broken, and like most of the dialogue is kind of taking place, kind of taking shape.
The story's broken like a journalist, like it's out in the public, or what do you mean by broken?
No. Broken, like as in I've written the beats of the story.
Okay.
I know where the story's gonna go.
Broken down.
Broken down, sure. Well, I mean, I usually just say broken, but the story's broken down and like sort of outlined. I have the plot, I have the synopsis, and now I'm just fleshing out the story itself. But it's really coming along. I've been working on it practically every day for the past month.
Has it been a way for you to work through what happened with you and Roxanne? I guess?
Yeah, like I think it is cathartic in a way.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But then you took some liberties and made some other stuff up to make it a little more interesting, or?
Yeah. Well, I had to take some liberties, but I think it is going to be pretty true to the experience. I want it to be a pretty like universal sort of story.
Well, because in this story, like you as the guy or whatever the guy is, wasn't even anywhere near cheating. You're saying like in both this Katie and Roxanne, You're saying that the girls were just off. Sounds like you're saying they're promiscuous. Both of them.
That was.
But you are totally innocent.
I'm innocent. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know all the.
That was my experience, at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's this short film. It's a short film you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's your experience.
Yeah. It is my experience, but I also want it to be as relatable as possible. I want it to paint a bigger picture, and yeah.
Because broken hearts. It's not just broken heart. One broken heart.
Well, I toyed with the idea, but essentially it is one person getting their heart broken. But I think Broken Hearts just sounds like a fuller title. Yeah.
A what title?
Just sort of like a fuller title.
Oh, a fuller title.
Yeah.
Like Universal or what?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe I did break Katie or Roxanne's heart without knowing it at some point. You know, I'll never be inside their head. I'll never know their perspective. So I kind of just have to make it up.
When you were never interested in anyone else while you were with Roxanne or what have you?
No, I was totally faithful.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
I don't think I deserved what happened to me, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Cause we were getting to know each other at that time, right? But
yeah,
we hadn't really discovered our love of movies.
yeah. that's just kind of what you do when you're in high school. Like, it's a pretty easy, accessible way to hang out with a group of people. But I feel like the more we talked at school and stuff like that, like I was doing that AV club thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, and I helped you out.
yeah, you helped me out a little bit.
Well, and then there was the cross country
Yeah.
racing, where you were training away,
Yeah.
trying to get it, and then I come in and you get me to do the races even without training, and then
Yeah.
and then I get higher than you or whatever. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
no, but I mean, like, 100. I'm 175th place,
Yeah.
and you're like 187th or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except the mud run, you beat me on the mud run.
I did beat you on that. Yeah, the mud run was not your forte.
I mean, I was having more fun than anything else, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you do have more of a traditional, I guess, runner's build than I do, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if that counts as silent bragging.
A silent bragging?
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
that's what you used to accuse me of.
Silent. Oh yeah, silent bragging. I use the term. I remember using the term humble brag a lot when I first came out. But silent bragging, that's a good one. We should bring that back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that people do sometimes, right? Where they just, like, let it float in the air around.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I'll stop. But,
Yeah.
yeah, that's... Okay, so, but, for example, what other elements of your life are going to be in this short film?
Well, it's gonna be a fairly self-contained story, I think. I kind of picture it, almost taking place in sort of like one location, and it's mostly dialogue driven. I like to get, maybe a few exterior shots in there somehow. I want to toy with nature and landscape a little bit.
Like
But-
in an abstract, artistic way, or what?
Yeah, yeah. Because sometimes you can say a lot without actually saying anything at all. So I think that it's gonna be a general. There's gonna be a story there. There's a plot, but I think that the film is kind of gonna have a vibe as well. Like, it's gonna have this. You're gonna go on a journey with these two characters, and it's gonna deal with themes of, intimacy and infidelity and stuff like that. It's kind of how I pictured it.
I mean, a couple other friends of theirs as well, or mainly just the two of them?
Yeah, there's gonna be some sort of peripheral characters that give the characters advice and that sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, I'll be needing hands on set, so.
Well, how far along are you in the planning of that?
Well, I haven't, hired anyone yet or anything. I figured I would just, I don't know. I get a few people to pitch in.
Like, you got the food
Yourself.
organized?
No, I don't know. I'll whip something up on the day, but
Well, you gotta feed the people.
I know I have to feed people, but.
Like, because you're paying everyone.
Well, I mean, it depends. I'm gonna look at the budget, and I figure I'm gonna call in some favors to do a lot of the more expensive stuff. But yeah, I'll have a plan worked out. I don't have a plan. Like, there's a plan in my head. I just need to put it to paper.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I could talk a little bit now about what I had for breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an excellent sandwich. It had eggs and kale. With some really nice seasonings, and then tofu. I mean, no, sorry, not tofu. Tuna.
Tuna.
Yeah, tuna.
For
but
breakfast?
yeah, with nice big chunks, so that it gave a real full texture to the sandwich. And I think that what made it really special was the butter. That's a real. It's a cool trick. And it sort of is a trick, and you can see a trick as being something that's positive, nice and easy going, or you could see it as something that's somewhat dastardly. Like, for example, my grandmother, we always thought she had the best peanut butter and honey sandwiches, which is another one that's fun to cook up. And what it was that she was putting butter on it as well. That was her secret to making a truly magnificent peanut butter and honey sandwich. Excuse me. So that's like a legitimate trick, but she was dastardly tricking us because she didn't admit it from the beginning. But whatever. I mean, we were young. So, anyways, in this case, yeah, you put some butter on it with tuna, and even those who don't like tuna necessarily, like this is not like a tuna sandwich. This is tuna from a can, like, but also like doesn't harm the seas type can, and doesn't harm dolphins,
Yeah.
and it's like nice full chunks.
I just can't wrap my head around eating tuna for breakfast. Like that just sounds a little odd to me. Like,
Even if there's like buttered toast and eggs and kale around it. Honestly, I couldn't even tell when I was eating it what the meat was. It could have been chicken. It could have not even had meat. At first, I didn't think it had meat. And on the end of it, because honestly, I didn't actually cook this one,
okay.
but my current better half did. And yeah, she did an excellent job. So that means that I was guessing my way through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty darn sure it was tuna. But I'll tell you this, it ruined nothing. It was excellent. So I highly recommend that. Tuna, eggs. Now, and then when you cook the egg, excuse me, you want to cook it only so much that the yellow is not, running all over you, but it's still somewhat liquidy, soft,
All right.
so that you get a nice fullness and a nice thickness. Tuna, kale, desired spices, and then butter on the toast. And rye bread. Multigrain rye.
That sounds good. How long did that take
To eat?
to put together?
Not long at all. Yeah, no, that can be a really, so that you can get ready to go for the day. It's, yeah. If she had I think another half an hour, it would have been 2 or 3 more layers. Would have been like a big one with tomatoes and a few different things like that. But as it was perfect for the route when you're on your way to work or what have you. Like I was on my way to doing this show.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, well, that's the cooking portion. Thank you.
Thanks for doing that. That actually sounds like not the worst thing to have on set, catering wise, for the shoot. So do
Yeah.
you think she'd be able to make, maybe a half dozen of those?
Well, now, hold your horses. There's lots of things to make. And if we're talking about catering on your set,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people you're going to have there, but when you're thinking about mass production, we'd
Yeah.
maybe mix it up.
Right.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Or, yeah, sandwiches aren't impossible, but...
They eat popcorn on set?
Oh, yeah.
The more I think of that as something you would eat watching a movie rather than making a movie.
Well, to get people in the mood. Like, we're making a movie.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes film sets, and I know this from experience, not tons and tons, but I have been on a film set or two. It doesn't feel like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to, I'm suggesting that you make it feel like a movie so that
Okay.
people are inspired.
All right. I'll think that over.
And I think popcorn will go a long way.
Okay. I'll pick up some popcorn.
But I mean, it's not to say that we can't do chicken.
Okay.
Yeah. Stuffed chicken
Sounds good.
and rice.
Chicken and rice, yeah.
And vegetables. For sure, vegetables as well.
I mean, do you have any interest in cooking on set?
Well, we'll see what happens, but we'll see how. Let's go one step at a time. I want to see you get real with these goals of yours,
Sure. Yeah.
because we know there's been a few things that haven't necessarily materialized. It's
Right.
okay.
Well, the script should be, I don't know, completed soon, and I'll make sure that you are the very first person to read it.
All right. So you're sort of pulling me in on this project.
Yeah. But you want to be on set, don't you?
No, I can help you. But I do have a few things going on as well, so we'll see about scheduling and stuff.
Mm-hmm. We'll work it out. I'm confident we'll work it out.
I'm glad we're in a good way now.
Yeah, me too. It's good to. It's funny to think that this all just started over some stupid girl I haven't really thought about in years.
Yeah, we might have passed through entirety of high school without knowing each other, and that from then on,
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have known each other. It's good. It's
Yeah,
lucky.
it's weird how life works that way. All right. Well, this has been the first episode of On Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex. I've been your host, Kyle.
And I've been your host, Alex.
What was that?
What?
Why did you say it like you were...
Well, we're both hosts. We're full-on, obviously, hosts.
You said it in this weird, clunky way. I thought you were making fun of the way I talk or something.
Oh, no. I wasn't
Oh.
making fun of you. I almost said co-host, but obviously I'm not the co-host. I'm like a host, too. Anyways.
Well, I think that we're co-hosts. Like co-host is not a pejorative term or anything.
No, but I mean, it's not necessary either. It's just host. Hosting.
Okay.
Co-hosts host together. We're hosts.
I guess so. All right, we have been your hosts then. We'll see you this time next week or whenever you're watching it, listening to it. To talk some more about my film, Broken Hearts, and whatever Alex has on the go.
Yeah, current recipe. We'll come back next time with a really interesting, exciting new way to do steaks.
All right. Have a good one.